Hello everyone, I'm back. I wanted to talk a little bit today about moral elitism. I've already done a video on this topic. It seems like things are getting worse on this topic, not better. So I want to explain to you guys a little something uh, about moral elitism and how it works and how you shouldn't point that gun at people from the past. So one of the things that's really popular right now is to cancel some of our founding fathers because some of them owned slaves, or to cancel other people from history because some of them owned slaves or did some other morally wrong thing. And I'll show you in a minute, I'll demonstrate how we all kind of do this. And so there are great men, great thinkers, great people from the past that have done atrocious things. I'll even go back as far as say these were good people. And when I say good people, I'm talking about from a worldly point of view. I'm talking about what most people consider a good person. I'm not talking about good and righteous in the sight of God. That's impossible. The only way you can do that is be covered by the blood of Christ. So you take his perfect righteousness and you wear it over your own. What I'm saying, from a human point of view, the way we usually look at things, as long as you don't murder someone, you try to help people, you generally display overall good tendencies, good people. Okay? And so you might want to say, well, how could you be a good person and also engage in slavery? Well, a lot of people, almost everyone, is a product of the time that they're alive. So you're a product of the age in which you live. Okay? So the things that you think are good are heavily influenced by what everyone else thinks around you. And none of us have time to look through every single one of our beliefs, every single one of our actions, everything that's going on in our lives, and determine 100% fully, after thinking it all the way through fully to conclusion, that something is right or wrong and we should or shouldn't engage in it. There are things that we just take for granted that we never get around to thinking about, okay? And I feel like, there are some really heinous things that we do that we don't even think about because we just haven't gotten around to that yet. We all have our particular expertise. We all have our areas of life that we focus on. I'll go ahead and demonstrate this for you, that even you engage in this. Even you do really horrible things that, that you should be ashamed of, and that in the future people might point it out. For instance, if you own... Let's just start off with this. If you have one of those masks, disposable masks, most likely it's made by slaves in China called the Uyghur people. This is not just the slavery like slavery where you sell your family into slavery for X amount of time because you fell on hard luck and it's actually a system of welfare. This is like chattel slavery in a way. You're picked based on your race, your ethnicity, your beliefs. So these Uyghur people are Muslim, and they're a different ethnicity than the rest of people in China. And because of which, they are forced into concentration camps, they're forced into forced labor, modern day slavery. The women are abused and in some cases raped, and also sterilized. So they can't even have children if they want to, because the country of China is actually systematically making sure that that doesn't happen. Okay? So this is an atrocious thing. Well, your masks are made by those people. Made by slaves. Okay? It gets worse. Your iPhone is made by slaves, most likely. If not actually in the factory, the actual components, the mining, the materials where they're mined, they're made by forced labor, small children, sometimes only getting paid about $2 a day. And then you come back and buy your iPhone for $1,200 a pop. And I believe people like the people at Apple and other places have been made aware of this, and they make claims that they're going to investigate and make sure it doesn't happen. And you may not have known about this. You may not have seen the news stories where people were jumping off the building where they make the iPhone parts and committing suicide. And they had to build nets around the factory to catch the employees. You might have missed that. You might think you're innocent. Well, you know now. Throw your iPhone away. Go ahead. Throw it away. Or engage in slavery. Okay? So now that you know, go ahead and throw your phone away. And then you can start tearing down statues of people from the past. But it's not just that. I mean, a lot of things are made in China. I try to avoid it as much as I can. But all the time I find out that things I thought I was buying that were American made are actually the components are made in China, or they're mined in China or something like that. It's really hard. I want to avoid it. And I recommend you do too. But just know that when you keep your phone, you're complicit in it. Okay. And so that's how someone can be a product of their age. A lot of people who, right now in the NBA, they're painting Black Lives Matters on the floor, on the courts. And the players are trying to make a big deal about racial inequality. But a lot of their merchandise and merch is made in China. And they know it. And they defend China. One coach or something like that ended up making a comment on Twitter about China and their practices with slavery of the Uyghur people. And he got reprimanded and had to repeal that and apologize and defend slavery. Okay. So that's just one example. There are all kinds of things. I think, no offense to anybody who's ever had an abortion, or no offense to anybody who's pro-choice, if you will. But as science continues to progress, and we continue to see that as soon as a zygote is formed, you have a genetically distinct human that's only different in its age, level of development, and its location from any other person. I mean, and we're starting to see sooner and sooner that these babies are functioning. They have brains, or younger and younger. And I think one day, some of the abortions that we're committing right now, if not all of them, will be looked upon as really horrible things. But yet, there are people who are celebrating abortions and fight for the right to commit abortions. And so I just want to show you, you can be a product of your age. And right now, abortion's considered okay. So whether you disagree with me or not, you might disagree with me. And what I say may not come true. But there's a very good chance, because it's been frowned upon and thought of as evil in the past. There's a very good chance it will be thought of as evil again sometime in the future, if not the immediate future, maybe sometime in the very distant future. But the point is, you think it's okay right now, but in the future and in the past, definitely in the past, but probably in the future again, people will think it's an atrocious, evil thing. Okay? And so those are two examples of how you can be engaged in very evil activities, but still consider yourself a good person and have other people consider you a good person too. You might donate to charity. You might help people who are in need. You might try to help everybody you see with a broken heart, to comfort them. You might be a wonderful person in many respects. And so were the Founding Fathers. And so that's my only point. Until next time. If you enjoyed this video, please consider liking and subscribing. If you didn't, you might be complicit.